Huge move
Right.
from London.
Banter bubbles are smoking up again. That was Ray that you might have seen there in the background. So yeah, we've got some altcoins popping off again. I was saying in the tile, don't be fooled. We might get an altcoin pump, but they're front running my tile here. These things are taking off everywhere. I've got Render moving. I think there was some news on a Binance listing in Japan potentially for Render, so that's just taken off. We see runes moving. We got all-time highs for CAS. I've got a story behind DYDX. And we're looking at a couple of other coins as well, guys. So we're going to tackle these altcoins quickly for you and see if we can grab you some entries before it gets away from us. And then we're going to look at some potential downside areas. So let's get right into it. What a day we had yesterday with BTC coming. They really did come for us last night, didn't they? They hit our 35,600, which was my first liquidation level that I was looking at, and they decided they wanted more. We saw there was a tweet coming out last night that had to do with this potential ETF delay. Maybe that triggered it. Maybe that triggered the sell-off. I mean, we had such good CPI news. The US market was so bullish, and then we saw there's a potential delay coming on that ETF, and maybe that was the trigger. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. We just look at these levels, and we try and play these levels as best as we can. And but they did come and flush. So lessons from yesterday: high leverage hurts. It really hurts. Take profits. High leverage, take profits. Low leverage stuff, spot buyers, they didn't notice anything. They carried on with their day. If they went to bed and the dump happened, they opened their phones, they probably had a bigger portfolio value now today than they had yesterday. So all is well for them. I think leverage traders got a little bit smoked. So guys, big lessons in that. We're still early in this market. Take these lessons, learn now about these flush outs, tone down the leverage, smaller positions, bigger moves. We've got a long run ahead of us. So right now, BTC, what am I looking at? Well, we have reclaimed the trend that we lost. This was a major area for us. We did reclaim that. We've pushed up into the 36 zone, which is a zone I've been talking about for quite some time as a nice support area for us. And we did reclaim this 36K area for now after a little 618 rejection. So you can see we did push up into that 618. Now I want to see a little bit of consolidation here for BTC. We don't want to dip too much lower. We want to kind of just hang out here, and then we want to send BTC to this trend at around about 37K. So that is step one. If we start breaking trends and doing things like that, well, that's another discussion we can deal with. But right now, for me, upside, I want to see a push to this trend region, just under 37, and then levels I've highlighted areas of interest for me lower down. So if we lose this 36K, we're looking for bounces at 35,600, 35, and then 34.5. Wouldn't really want to see that again. All the hard work these alts have been doing are going to get absolutely rinsed again. So let's hopefully we don't go down to this 34.5. But right now all is well. These alts are popping. And business as usual. Dominance is weekly. We have lost that weekly level again. There is one more bounce area coming for dominance, which is a little bit lower here at this trend region, 51.5, that sort of area. So we could expect a bounce there in dominance. So if that is tied into a BTC dump, well, then we're going to get hurt. But if the dominance starts bouncing and BTC starts pumping, then the alts won't be hurt too much. And then just a quick little recap, total 3. So these are the altcoins excluding BTC and ETH, and they're talking to us. We've broken through this major weekly resistance area. This was a big area for us. We were looking for these rejections, and we got that rejection a couple of times, but now we are solid. We are through. We retested that one. Look at that 200-week MA playing out for us. So now we are looking at this area to hold support for these altcoins, and then we want to start that push to the 450 level. So right now I'm watching this 200-week MA and horizontal weekly area as our support region. If we start losing that, we're burning. If we're pushing up, well, then we better jump into some more of these altcoins. So I'm going to take you through a couple of alts. Yesterday we covered some of those gaming tokens. Those things were ridiculous. Some of those projects that Hustle was talking about got me very excited about this gaming market. I did dig around. I found 2 more gaming tokens that may or may not be of interest. So I'm going to drop those for you guys a bit later on in the show. But right now, let's crack on with DYDX. We saw there was a bit of news on DYDX, and that thing has been pumping now. So a lot of stuff happening there. They've done some kind of deal there with Cosmos. Validators are now getting their a portion of the exchange fees on DYDX and things like that. So very bullish news out there. We are looking out for a token unlock that is on its way, though. How much that will affect the price, we're not sure yet, but right now everyone is all over DYDX. So let's just take a look at it and try and understand what is happening here. This is the weekly DYDX chart that I've got in front of me. And I mean, look, bullish AF, really. I mean, we're breaking through all these areas. This is another weekly region, this 4 that we've just broken through now. So we are watching this area closely now. If this is a fake out, I'm looking for a bounce on DYDX at 3.67. This is using this weekly area here. If we are going to push up, guys, we want to see the support now develop in this 4 region. I'm going to zoom in for you shortly, and then we want to see this push for DYDX up to 4.6. But it's all about DYDX the last 24 hours or so. When is it going to get tired? Well, we're going to have to see. But right now for the scalpers, here's a little 15-minute degen zone for you that I promised you guys I would give you more of. And this is the best you could do when these things are running like this, and you're trying to snipe entries and do all these things. You need to play very carefully, and you do need to dial in to see and try and understand what you are dealing with. So right now there is a horizontal area here on DYDX. We have had a break, and currently it is retesting this horizontal. So that is something the 5-minute guys and the 15-minute guys, they've probably got their eyes on that. What I would say to you is watch out for this trend. If you do start losing the support, I would look at this trend for a possible move on DYDX, and that ties in with this 4 region that we are showing you on the weekly. So if we lose this trend, that means we potentially had a fake out on that weekly, and DYDX is going to start heading lower. And then if we zoom out again, that lower target is going to be this 3.7 region. So if we are dialed in right now, it looks like a break of horizontal. If we lose this trend, I would say we are heading lower. So exercise caution there, but that is a squeezy type of trend we are looking at. So maybe a little bit left here in the tank for DYDX, and then a token unlock coming in the near future. How much is that going to affect the price? It's difficult to say, but we do know from history that often leading into token unlocks for whatever reason, sometimes these coins tend to move a little bit. So DYDX is something I'm watching, and scalpers, just be careful out there. Careful on that leverage. We don't want to see people get smashed there. Let's take a look at RUNE. I think we need to take a look at RUNE. This thing is ridiculous as well. That 500% trade that we were talking about last week Thursday, before that up and down 40% candle, has now played out. It was a 54% move on 10x. That 500% trade is now locked and loaded, and here we are, RUNE looking hungry. Want some more of the action here. So let's see where we can get on the weekly if this move is going to continue. And remember, RUNE is a proper bull market type token. I think the more money in the market and the more bullish things are looking, the more RUNE tends to pump. So this is something to watch. And remember, in the bear market, how we all forgot about it. If you look at these weekly candles down here in April, May 22, it just dumped all the way down. A bit of a rough ride for RUNE, but making a nice recovery. Potential targets for RUNE, 7.77 and 8.66 are areas of interest for me, but this is currently a resistance area. So just like we've seen on DYDX, we are now at a resistance area. This is the weekly. We're going to dial in for you shortly, and we're looking for support in this weekly region. We want to break higher. We want to confirm that we do have support. We want to make sure this move is potentially going to continue. And the scalper's dream, I mean, I've tried to build you guys a picture as to what we go, but this is all I've got for you right now. RUNE has been moving so well on this 1 hour, and I've been trying to find you guys levels as to how we can get involved in this thing, but it is currently just going full beast mode on us here. So there is a channel that you can try and attack here if you dare. You can watch that sort of thing. And then horizontals, this is a better area for me. On the 1 hour, you might get something here. We've got a 382 tying in here at around about 5.4. So look out for this area if you do get a pullback. This is a high risk play here, guys. If you're trying to long this thing, this is a big resistance area. So you really want to see a bit of a move up, nice consolidation, dial in, then get your entries, and then maybe we're going to get that 7.7 region. If things start falling over here for the market and RUNE, it can go down quite quickly, just as quickly as it went up. Remember what I was explaining last time, this type of candle that drops so quickly, they can get filled very quickly, and it's the same way back down. So really time for caution here, play safe in these areas. It's obviously very tempting to stare at these things that are pushing into these resistance zones. So just be careful up here, play the safe bets, play the pullbacks, play the areas, the nice levels. Okay, other tokens I've got for you. There was a little bit of news about AVAX. I mean, people are talking about AVAX again. I thought we forgot about AVAX, but oh, here's this render news we're gonna talk about shortly. But there's news in the market again about AVAX. People are talking about it. It feels like bull market vibes coming in hard here. So I thought, well, let's take a look at AVAX as well and try and see what's going on. And also a bit of a pump machine lately. It is moving beautifully, and horizontals for me, this 21 is incoming now. This is my target, this 21.2, and then we have some big areas coming for AVAX if we do break through that. So area 1, look out for rejections in these areas. We want to see where BTC is when AVAX gets there. Is BTC at a big resistance zone? Is it going to reject? Let's see where AVAX is when we do get a type of rejection, and then we're going to play that area. And then on this is the 2-day, and support for me on this 2-day is down at 18. So again, this is still in play quite easily, this 18. It can happen very quickly. We saw yesterday how quickly they moved up and down. So just keep that in mind when you are looking at these type of things. Then I've zoomed in for you on AVAX. This is the 1 hour. So we do have a little trend going on, and I've tried to identify potential areas. If this move is going to stay bullish for AVAX, we need to look at some areas where you could maybe get in if this move is going to continue. And it's a typical trend we're watching at the moment. So we do have this trend. We've got 2 touches on this trend. Let's see. Right now we are pushing a potential double top area here. So if we do get this pullback here, we're going to look for some kind of reaction at this 18.15 region. That could give you a potential entry, and you can see why it makes sense. We've got horizontal, we've got fibs, and we do have a trend in play here, so that could help us out around about 18.1, 18.2. And then again, if AVAX does decide to pop up here, you really want to make sure that it's getting a nice support base in this region, and then you can tackle it for that move higher. Just make sure when you are trading and doing these things on these lower time frames, make sure you get your levels, your support areas, and you manage your risk very carefully. Okay, let's look at Render. So we saw some news that it's potentially getting listed on Binance Japan. I saw this tweet here. There are a couple of tokens. So these are ones you need to watch: Render, Mana, EOS, Gala, Ape, Play. So I would assume if we start looking at all of these tokens, there might have been some movement in them over the last while. Render just was very notable to me because we were talking about Render earlier in one of our sessions on the Sniper Club, and there it goes. So we were watching it earlier down here at this 2.3 region, and it broke through that horizontal. Nice little horizontal area, broke through, retested, broke the trend, retested, and then I would think that is roughly where they sent that news, and off it goes. So there it is. Now we are breaking through a resistance area on Render. We are watching this region currently. So this is a resistance zone. We want to make sure we have support here for Render. So if you are a late longer in Render, be careful up here. We are still trying to confirm some kind of support in this region, and then the target is 2.65 for the first reaction. So just be careful up here. This is a tricky zone. Let's see what happens if it does hit that area, but careful here. You want support in this region. 2.5 sort of level is where you want to be. Guys, how was that show yesterday with Hustle? We broke some records yesterday on that show. We had a record amount of views. Evandro wants Kaspa. I've got Kaspa. I'm sure Simon is so happy with this Kaspa situation. Simon, where are you? When Kaspa breaks new highs, you need to be talking to us.
Breaking new highs now.
It's breaking new highs right now. Correct, Raymond. Guys, that's Ray. What's up, Ray? Okay, so guys, let's take a look. That gaming show, guys, it was such power yesterday. I really enjoyed it, looking at those gaming tokens, and it's made me rethink a lot of things with my strategy with regards to what I want to play in. And I think I'm going to take a look at some of Hustle's gaming tokens there for my portfolio. So I'll get stuck into that. No Face enjoyed that. Russell says correct. I'm not sure why, but no, let's be correct. Okay, let's deal with Kaspa because, it is something that needs to be dealt with. I mean, this is how these Kaspa guys are feeling. I am feeling a little bit like this because, I've got the best of Kaspa lately. And this is how everyone is right now, especially all the Kaspa holders. And look at this thing absolutely ripping. Where does it end? And we're gonna pull some fibs here and try and understand where this thing could go on this current move. So remember, we often get, when we are at all-time highs for things like this, we often get these squeezes. We know that people like to short. And what happens when there's pressure and people are buying and the price starts moving up? The people that are short, they start sweating. And how do they exit their positions? They have to buy their positions back. And then we get these massive squeezes. And this is why we love crypto. I mean, this is exciting. We trade gold, we trade oil, but geez, this is what we love. The altcoin degens, this is our stuff. So there it goes, cooking for us. Now, how do you try and guess all-time highs? How do you try and guess where it can go? Well, what you can do is you can pull one of these fib extensions. I like to use the 1.618 and the 2.618. So let's put in a 1.618 here on Kaspa and see where that it's already taken out the first target. Let's give it a 2.618. I mean, this is real science coming into play here now. I mean, this is proper white coat stuff happening here. Okay, 2.68 is the next potential area for Kaspa on this pump. This is not a time to be buying. Do not buy this pump now. This is not a good plan. You want to buy on good areas. Remember, we broke all-time highs last time, and what did we do? We consolidated. There was time. Let it consolidate. We're going to build flags. We're going to do these things. So if you missed out on Kaspa, don't start FOMOing in now. This is a mix of people trying to short and do all sorts of things, and this thing just keeps pumping. When the time is right, when it starts consolidating, I'm going to build you guys a nice little picture on Kaspa. You're going to get something like this from me, and we're going to play it again, because if this market stays bullish, Kaspa's not going to stop. There's guys talking about 10x and all sorts of things. The euphoria is coming back on Kaspa apparently. So I'm going to build this for you guys. Just be patient. If you've missed your entry, just hang in there. Don't dive into these big candles here. Robin says next leg brewing for Kuji, downwards sloping resistance about to break. That's interesting. Kuji's been a good performer. Dylan, I'm so high on Kaspa, I can't calculate it. Kaspa is said to be the next Solana. Yeah, look, Ben, the researcher, said Solana was the easiest 10x in crypto, and that was when it was 12 or 14. That is now playing out. We've got Nuno saying it's the next Solana. Let's see. There's a possible 10x there. Away wants to see Sol. We've got some Sol for you. Simon's talking about his Lambo. If you got Kaspa early, you're probably at Lambo time, I would think. Okay, let's see what else did I want to give you guys today. I wanted to give you Matic. I wanted to give you something called Scale. I was tracking a news article in YouTube, or watching a news article in YouTube, and there was talk about a lot of these gaming tokens moving on to gasless, what do we call these things? Platforms for their games. So that would make sense a lot of the time, that ETH is maybe not getting what it wants, and these guys are moving on to things like AVAX, Matic, and those type of tokens. So there was an interesting article here that I picked up from, this is not my article, it was from this guy, Digital Asset News, but I thought it was quite topical. A lot of gaming tokens are built on Polygon, Matic at the moment. So I thought we need to look at that. BNB is also a performer. And then we had Avalanche, and this guy actually mentioned something called Scale, which is not even on this list. Could be a dark horse play for us. Scale. So I thought, let me put this in a chart and see what's going on. He was talking fundamentals that it could make sense for Scale. It was a gasless platform for the gaming tokens. So I thought, let's look at this. Could be a dark horse for a potential move. Let's see where we are on the weekly. And you can see there's a long way to go. I mean, this thing obviously had a lot of hype back in the bull market. That's breaking my screen, basically. All-time high, 1.24. It's I don't expect all-time highs. I don't really expect all-time highs on a lot of these altcoins. So let's not get too excited. We just go level by level. But what we want to see here is potential move zones for the scale token. And this is the weekly, and respecting fibs fairly well. We saw the 200-day MA and the 382 respond nicely to the pullback. So that's always a nice sign for us that we get these reactions that we like to see. So it was the 200-day 382, good response here. And now it's trying to reclaim this weekly area. So we want to see some kind of support here for the scale, 0.029. And then we're going to track this 0.032 as a potential target, and then 0.035. So let's just dial in a little bit here. And you can see it is trying to find some kind of support here. We want to see it push higher. So this is definitely on my watch list, a potential late bloomer, perhaps, for those of you who are interested. There could be something going on here. Again, it was pulled from an article. I know nothing about this thing, but this guy seemed to know what he was talking about fundamentally. So yeah, let's see how that one plays out. JMO wants to talk about Beam. I think we spoke about Beam yesterday with Hustle. If you want to talk more Beam and things like that, Hustle is on the gaming channel. He is at it's In the Game. It's the new Banter channel, so you can go to In the Game and get stuck in there. He's the gaming man, and he talks all things fundamentals with gaming. Okay, let's look at Matic. Matic does have work to do, so this is a weekly picture for you on Matic. Again, if we zoom out, remember we can zoom into these 15 minutes and these 1 hour things all day long, but ultimately you do need to zoom out and understand that when we get these flush outs and these big moves, where do they want to take you? So it always makes sense to zoom out a little bit. So look at this currently on the weekly. Matic is now banging into a weekly resistance area. Look at these candles here, weekly resistance. So careful up here for Matic, 0.95. But what we can see about Matic is when we do get this move higher, it's going to be a nice cruise up for us to around about 1.2. So I'm trying to get into a Matic position. Let's try and see where we can grab something here. If we dial in, it is pushing into a resistance area. Let's try and see if we can get some trends for you. Okay, so Matic, for me, Matic lower down, 0.8 is the low if we do get a rejection. The scalpers out there, you're going to need to dial in a little bit more. We're looking for some kind of consolidation in this area. We want to see what we can get out of it for that explosive move higher. So that is kind of what we're looking for now. Wild Seller Mank is asking for DYDX. Didn't we just cover that one? Michelle Vito says FTM is banging resistance. Yeah, we're going to look at that one too. Cyber got Matic at 0.8861. Okay, you're cooking. That's not bad. Nice and low there. Okay, I like that. So guys, Matic is one to watch. It was on this list as well with these gaming tokens moving onto that platform. So eyes on Matic. I think late bloomer potentially. I mean, it has moved, but it hasn't done what Solana and those guys have done. And I think there is some juice left in the tank there on Matic. Okay, I've got Solana for you guys and Celestia. Yeah, and then yesterday in the chats, you guys were coming at me with SIDUS, and that's a gaming token. I did do some work on SIDUS. Yeah, a little bit of caution on SIDUS because I see they announced some kind of token burn or something like that. It's already happened, so that has moved. We're going to deal with SIDUS just now, but we could possibly grab an entry for you there. Let's look at Sol. Big mover. Don't we just love the Sol? Sol is on for our 74, 75 target, still on track. If we dial in on Sol, let's take a look here. We were just talking about Sol in the Sniper Club. That is why there's drawings on this. We had a closed Zoom session there for the members. Lux Algo on Sol was talking shortage. It wants to short it. Right now, we were trying to say, okay, potential double top forming on Sol. But if you were trying to short something like this that's looking this hungry and this bullish, you need to look at support areas for your target. So just be cautious here. The targets aren't very big if your bias is bullish and this market's going to carry on. Just be careful there. But what can we see now? It's pushing the highs for the year. 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀 is telling it it needs to calm down. Let's take a look here. So 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀 has printed 2 X's on the 1 hour. Let's just confirm these settings here. Okay, so we've got 2 X's. So we've got 1. So 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀 prints an X when it tells you these tokens are getting tired. Printed an X. The second one is now pushed into the cloud. So it's basically telling us exercise caution here with Solana. What can we see? It has broken this area over here, and it is trying to hold support now at 61 to 62. But for me, if you're a scalper and you're looking for safer entries, you want to look at pullback areas and just be patient with these things. So what you can do is pull in this trend and try and dial into some nice horizontal areas and look for those moves lower, and then you can get those bounces like we did in Render, for example, and things like that. So maybe a little bit of patience. The best move for Sol was obviously earlier when we had that trend break earlier today. So just be careful there with Solana. Rubinho says 𝗏𝗀𝗀 is breaking out, but wasn't somebody just telling us they were shorting 𝗏𝗀𝗀? Guys, we need to decide what we're doing here. Are you shorting it? Are you longing it? Okay, we'll take a look. Zindagi says he's scalping Sol. Yeah, tell us what you're doing. Tell us how you're going about it. But guys, just remember, be cautious. We use 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀 as a guide. It tells us when things are hot or cold or looking for a reverse, and it's telling us right now Sol on the 1 hour is a little bit hot. So do be careful there. Look for nice, safe areas to play. Okay, Robin says you can't short 𝗏𝗀𝗀 yet. Zindag says Sol's on drugs, probably. Yeah, it won't stop. It won't stop. It's like a revenge pump now for Sol. It's not going to stop. Let's take a look at Kaspa. Let's do 𝗏𝗀𝗀. Mixed reviews here. Some people are saying you need to short it. Some people are saying you need to go long. It's breaking out. I can't quite see the breakout unless you're watching 5-minute candles, perhaps. That's proper degen, guys. Let me know in the chats what type of mix of traders I have here. In fact, I'm going to run a poll tomorrow. I want to know what I'm dealing with here. If it's max degen, I see you guys. I see you guys with the 5-minute candles. Okay, let's look what we potentially have here. Maybe something like this could be brewing for us on Kujira. Something potentially bullish. Look for resistance. There's a nice tight resistance area, and we saw on Render, for example, we were pushing into resistance, and then you do eventually get that break. If we do get this break on 𝗏𝗀𝗀, you're looking at about 4.14 as a potential area that it could track to. But again, be careful. This is resistance now. Resistance here, resistance. You need to see that break. You want to see the support confirmed. That's your safest play. Otherwise, you can just wreck yourself. You end up longing into resistance and it reverses and you get burnt. The club says he goes down to the 10 seconds, right? That is another level. Okay, so yeah, if you want to play 𝗏𝗀𝗀, you want to confirm support. Okay, right now this is a resistance, trend resistance, horizontal resistance. You want to confirm that support. You want to make sure that you are de-risking yourself as much as possible. Cyborg says I got to buy 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏. I don't even know what 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏 is. Meme coins look strong, guys. Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting comment. FTM going to run some more. Okay, let's look at FTM. And guys, don't forget, Banter Bubbles. Click on BTC. Guess the price. Use any of these links below. CoinW, OKX, BitGet, Bybit. All you need is that to enter your guess. You can win a whole Bitcoin if you take 10 trades on any of these platforms before the 1st of January. So that's a full Bitcoin if you get the price right. So if you don't have one of the links, there are trading links in the description, and that will get you your ticket to guess the price and potentially win a BTC. Okay, so we've got questions on FTM, Fetch, and Atom. Let's get stuck into FTM quickly. Oh, this RUNE, Woo! This RUNE looks this RUNE's looking dangerous here. Looking like it wants to run. Okay, Phantom. Okay, Phantom 8 hour. What do we have here? Okay, we've broken. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. Okay, let's dial in a little bit here. Let's get to. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. These circles here are rejection zones that I was watching. Okay, so let's just create a picture as to what's happened here with Phantom. So it has pushed into a resistance area. Then we had that mega rejection yesterday, and after a dump like that, when you start getting the pump, you want to identify where is it going to struggle, where is it potentially going to reject or have an issue. And there was this nice horizontal here tied in with the 382, and our next area was the 618. So right now it is struggling a little bit at the 618. If we do get that rejection, then we know that Phantom is now in a downtrend. Okay, and then we are potentially looking at lower levels as it tracks down. So what we want to see is this move through the 618, and we want to see the 618 become support, and then that should help us get Phantom to send it to around about 0.35. That's where we're going to target. So right now it is at a sensitive area. This is a resistance rejection area for Phantom. So again, exercise caution here. The best trades were lower down. The best trades were when we were breaking horizontals, retesting some of that support. So right now we do have a 618 and horizontal resistance plan. So make sure you're okay here. Look for a break. Make sure we get support, and then you can get into things like Phantom. Just be careful here. Okay, let's look at Atom. So they did that deal with DYDX. I mean, this RUNE is ridiculous, isn't it? Be careful up here. Be careful up here with RUNE, guys. Very careful. Okay, Atom. Okay, here we are. High impact zones. Look at these areas. Look where we reject. Look where we bounce. These charts don't lie. We look at big impact zones. We work on dailies. Always zoom out. Look at daily, weekly. Look for your strong areas. Look at this fake out through that daily area, and then a pullback. And what did it bounce off? 200-day MA, and we've got this 382 cluster over here. So we know when it's coming down a nice strong area for us where we can get our reaction. So right now, Atom is middle of the range. We do have some kind of action here. Okay, so we do have some kind of resistance currently for Atom. So support for me for Atom is still this 8.9 region. Look around in that area. If we do get this first pullback, that's your main support region. And then if we do get a bigger pullback, guys, we haven't even dealt with bigger pullbacks. Remember, bigger pullbacks are all on the table. And the way you want to do that is highlight these 618s and these 382s from big pools. So I would suggest on a lot of these altcoins, pull these fibs from the 19th of October to the highs, whatever those highs are, and identify quickly the 618s and the 382. So if we do get those pullbacks, at least you can know which are your safety zones or your areas where you can buy and get stuck in. So right now, Atom is at resistance. We do want to see it push higher and break this mini resistance area currently. So we do want to see this level reclaimed here and then perhaps a move up. So this is a resistance area currently for Atom. So just take it easy here. Every day in the chats, you guys, wishing people happy birthday. I mean, Hustle didn't know what you guys were talking about yesterday. Wishing these birthdays things all day long. Okay, let's look at DOT. I've neglected DOT a little bit. I know the research team aren't that keen on DOT, so we haven't been watching it enough. I mean, yeah, if we have to pick a 10x in crypto, I don't know if it's going to be DOT, put it that way. But I'm not the fundamentals guys here. I just look at what these charts are telling us. Okay, so let's see what's going on with DOT. What do you guys think about my nice dark office? I turned all the lights off. Let us know if it's improvement. Raymond suggested it. Raymond, it's like getting dark here, bro. They can't even see me.
Like the Bitcoin looks like it's gonna avenge in the background there.
Can you guys still see me? Okay, so DOT 618 bounce. Let's have a look here. Okay, there was a 618 pull. from this low on the 9th of November to that high. So that gave us some kind of indication that we get a bounce here in this horizontal. So you can see this horizontal tied in very nicely, and we got the reaction we wanted on DOT. So right now DOT is still it's still in a downtrend, as you can see. We do need to start pushing higher. Let's see where we can potentially get a rejection from DOT. Okay, so we do have a 618 coming up. So watch this area here, 5.5. Okay, we want to see what happens here. If we do get that rejection, we're potentially coming lower. If we do break up, then we know the party could be on, and it will be a general feel in the market. You'll see it on a lot of the coins you're watching. They're going to respond to BTC strength and all these types of things. So if these altcoins start rejecting and you turn on the BTC chart, you're more than likely going to see BTC is rejecting somewhere. So just you know, always have one eye on BTC, one eye on dominance, and then one eye on your favorite altcoin. Josh likes the music. Thanks, bro. One of the traders in the sniper team, DJ David, is a DJ, and he mixes these tracks for us. It's non-copyrighted music. And yeah, he's in the sniper club. The trader by day, DJ by night. He does that type of thing. Okay, let's look at Fetch. And then yeah, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you these gaming tokens. I mean, Hustle really got me thinking about some of these gaming tokens, and I was looking at some of these charts, and if these things actually start working and people start coming into these gaming sectors, some of these tokens are going to absolutely fly. Okay, Fetch, yeah, this is AI, moves with Render, moves with GRT, Ocean, AGIX, those type of coins. So remember your narratives. When AI starts moving, these are the ones you can jump into: Ocean, Fetch, Render, GRT, AGIX. Let us know in the chats what else we have it under AI. We're looking at the charts, bro. My eyes are up here. What's going on here? Kryptoni. Okay, so what can we do with Fetch? Fetch is absolutely ripped now off the 786, so we are late. What I can do is we can try and build a scalper zone here for you guys. Let's see if we can figure this out and see what we can scrape together here from Fetch. Okay, this is 1 hour, so semi-degen. The 10-minute guy in the chat, or I mean the 10-second guy in the chat, is going to be a bit disappointed with me that I haven't pulled out the 10-second charts. Okay, so this is how you build a scalper zone for yourself if you're trying to do little moves and things like that. Remember, guys, the best entries are on these massive weekly and daily support zones with massive fib pools. These are scalper moves. These are high-risk things. You're trading 1 hour, you're trading 15 minutes. These trades can go south very quickly. So always manage your stops. Be very careful with how you play, and be careful with the leverage, guys. Smaller positions are better. Try and look for bigger moves. Don't try and trade something for a 1% or a 0.5%. You know, you're just going to get yourself in a bit of a mix there. So just be careful. Okay, what can I see here? Some kind of support developing. So we did have a trend break. Okay, so we broke the trend. We've had a little retest here. So that is interesting. Let's be fair. That is interesting. 0.414 is a support to watch on Fetch. This is the 1 hour. So again, guys, this is not a daily. It holds less weight. 786 rejection. Okay, a little bit of resistance there for Fetch. But yeah, okay, so you've got a trend break. Your support is this 0.414. If you lose this area, look at this candle. You can see you can get wiped out very quickly. So be very careful here with Fetch. The wipeout zone can take you all the way down to 0.39. So just be careful over here. And you can see this is your next solid zone. So if it starts dropping and you're looking for an entry, this is your zone down here. 0.395 is your zone on Fetch. On Doris says AVAX is performing. I agree. Yeah, Mark Dutch says show the like button some love. Guys, how many likes do we actually have here? Ray, how many likes do we have?
That part I can't see it. 1 second.
Ray's head of likes. Okay, let us know. You're gonna have to look at the YouTube there and let us know. We're gonna get enough likes. I'm gonna show you the SIDUS chart. Okay, I need probably 200 likes. We got 1,600 here watching. You give me 200 likes, I'm going to give you 2 gaming tokens I'm looking at. But no, we need these likes. Ray, will you log on to YouTube there and tell us what's going on here with the likeage? Derek says, likey this man's content. We've got requests for TRB. I'd like to look at TRB because I've been watching it on 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀 for a few days, and it's felt like watching paint dry while we wait for this reversal. And quite a painful move watching TRB. I mean, this has been days in the making. Sometimes you got to wait for the best entries, guys, and this is really making or testing my patience. So this is what we got here. We've got a horizontal support region. We got the 50-day MA giving us a nice little reaction off the 50-day MA, the 618. We've got a backup with the trend. So I'm looking at support currently at 79 region for TRB. And then on the 4-hour, we had 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀 talking to us earlier. Now, I haven't looked at this in the last couple of hours. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, finally. Okay, so, well, let's make sure, before we get excited about this bullish setup here, let's make sure. So there we go. Okay, so this is 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀 on the 4-hour. For those of you that don't know what I'm doing here or think this is the weirdest science you've ever seen in your life, we use 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀. It's a paid indicator. There is a free version, but we use the paid one. There's a link in the description. There's a 30% discount, and you use it. If you don't like it, I think after the first month you get a refund or something along these lines, but we use it for confluence with our trades. And this is an example as to why and how I would use it. So here is 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀 printing a sell. So they gave us the sell. The price pumped into this region. They gave us the sell. And then they printed an X saying, we are slowing down. We are getting a little bit tired, drifted a little bit lower, and it started heading into a support zone. And when we get an X print and we start moving into something like a 618, a horizontal, a 50-day MA, I may or may not get a little bit excited if I don't mind myself. So here's a little X. The second X has been printed on TRB. So it's really saying the brakes are now on, potential reversal coming. And this is TRB on the 4-hour, and 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀 has now printed it's not a super bullish long. You can see this is an example of a super bullish long. You get the plus with the triangle. This is a medium bullish long that it's now printed, and that could be that this trade is now underway potentially for TRB. So again, if you want to trade this thing, look for your main support regions. Don't ape in, don't go high leverage, don't be in a situation where you put yourself under pressure if the market reverses. Remember, the market reverses at any time. Yesterday we had bullish CPI news, everyone was happy, things were pumping, and what happened in 30 minutes? Everyone got rinsed. So just remember, these things can happen. So if you're playing high leverage stuff, you need to be careful. You need to go small positions, guys, big moves, manage your risk, risk, and put your winnings into these shit gaming tokens. Maybe that's gonna help you at the end of the day. Even CAS and all these things. Leverage is for fun. Leverage is for making a little bit extra so that you can then invest in these tokens. Because if you spend the entire bull market trying to leverage trade 15 minutes and you're not digging in and investing in some of these tokens, you're probably going to be a little bit disappointed in the end. So remember, short-term gains, we're looking for little moves here, and we're looking to bank that stuff and use those profits for a good cause, not throwing back into another leverage trade. If you win a trade, guys, take a break. Don't take the winnings and 50x it again, because that's when you're going to get hurt. You're going to come out of that. You're going to come out of that down, I can assure you. So if you win a trade, take it easy, take the profits out, invest it, start again the next day, and just, keep it cool. Whose birthday is it today? I'm not sure. We're looking for 400 more likes. Okay, and I'm really going to pull the hood out on some of these coins here. Okay, Martina is looking for 8 days. What's that, Ray? I didn't hear you, Ray. Dave says happy birthday, Ray. Ray, I can't hear you, bro. Come back to me. What did you say? Did we hit our target?
So we have likes. All right, 600 likes.
We close. Oh, 600. Okay, we're looking good. Okay, we'll pull it up. Okay, so Martina wants ADA and Steve wants MAV. Steve, I've seen you ask for MAV a couple of times. Let's give you some MAV. Let's see what this thing is. And Martina, I've got you with ADA. Oh, we've looked at this thing. Wow. Okay, look at that. Trend break, trend retest, double trend retest. So guys, all time frames, these things do work. Okay, this is the 12-hour. This is a massive picture, but break, retest, sent. Okay, retest it again, sent again. So that's why, you know, the stuff does work for the scalper things. But remember, like, you could find yourself in a position where you're over trading. You got 15-minute candles, hour candles. You're trading the whole day. If you're trading these 12 hours and 1 hour, 12 hours on daily, you're doing less trades. Could help you in the long run. Okay, so just play it safe here. Let's see where we are with this MAV. Okay, we've got some horizontals going on here. Okay, so MAV, resistance zone currently for me. What we need to do is just be a little bit patient here. We've got resistance. This is clear resistance, 12-hour. You can see it's trying up here. You need to just be a little bit cautious here. We're going to dial in perhaps. Let's get some degen vibes going here. Remember, the downside on these massive candles when you zoom out, if we do get proper pullbacks, they can send you all the way down. So as long as you guys know, when you're scalping, you're scalping. If you're looking for longer term entries or bigger things like that, you really want to identify these big areas on 12-hour, daily, weekly. Those are your main zones. Let's pull up a scalper setup here on MAV. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay, support areas we need to identify. We look for nice solid zones. 1 hour, again, not as solid as, say, a weekly, so be aware of that. But identify areas. If we do fall over, where are you going to get a bounce? Where are you going to get a reaction? How's that going to help you? And then these help with your supports. It helps you when you're deciding to exit a trade. If you're exiting on strong areas, you're potentially making a mistake. You want to exit when you lose strong areas. You don't want to panic and exit when you're dipping into a potential bounce area. So again, this is a lesson for position size and things like this. If you are feeling super uncomfortable and you're sweating about your trades and things like that, perhaps they're too big and you need to readjust how you go about things with your position sizing. Okay, horizontals. So we're just looking at levels currently. I'm trying to look for areas. You can see what happened here. We broke through the horizontal. We saw that on DYDX. You come back for the retest. Okay. These are your better areas, and then it can go. So these are the type of things you want to look for. I'm always more comfortable on a retest when you get that confirmation that now we've broken, we've got support, then you can maybe get yourself an entry. So the best entry for this little move has now escaped us. It was 0.3 on MAV. So that was your best area for a little scalp there. What you can do is start pulling out trends and things like that, but this is I mean, this is pretty much vertical, so just be careful with that one. And then let's look at resistance. You've got this high over here that you need to look at. So you just create a little level by level, look for strong zones, pull in some fibs, see how they tie in. Okay, so we identify the high of that move, and you can see this 382 ties in very nicely with this high. So 0.3 to me is support. So if you do get a pullback, that is your support region, potentially another bounce here. But again, eyes on BTC. If it pulls back too early, we know we got a lower high. This thing might be coming lower. So look out for that. 618 is also always a fun area for a potential bounce on these altcoins. 𝗵𝗵𝗽𝗁 DYDX is about to break resistance. Yeah, correct. It is about to break resistance, I believe. Okay, TIA is smashing it. Yeah, let's do TIA. This is Celestia. A lot of questions about this one. I see it all the time, and I neglect this one. So let's look at this. This is the 1 hour. There's not much data available. You can see this thing was launched, or it looks like it was launched in October. So new token. Fundamental guys in the chats, please let me know what this is. Is this a layer 1? Is this the new CAS? Is CAS the new Solana? Is TIA the new Sol? Is TIA the new CAS? Explain to me how this stuff works. Talk to me here. We're looking for thetas as well. Frank's looking for gaming tokens. They're coming, guys. They're coming. Okay, so let's see. TIA, Celestia, 1 hour. We're looking at areas where we can potentially get bounce zones for support and things like that. So I'm currently looking at this 5.6 region as a potential support area for us that we're going to look at. So if this does pull back, we're looking at trend and this 382. So if we do get this move down here, that could make sense for a potential move, for a potential long there. And then always you need to track your support areas for the way down. So here is the 382, 4.9, and lower down we've got the 618. This would be, I wouldn't say last resort, but if we do get some kind of flush, like a quick flush out here, you look for your 618s, look for your 382s and those type of things. Okay, Tanya wants to know, AVAX is rising, where's it going? We did cover it briefly. The target for AVAX is 21. So that's the first stop. Look out for a reaction at 21. Just be careful there. Okay, so absolute shit coins, guys. SIDUS, you guys were asking me about SIDUS in the chats yesterday. There was a token burn. You can see these candles, okay? Be careful. These are weekly candles. This thing is pumping. You need to be careful with this. This is pushing into a resistance area. So they've announced some kind of token burn or whatever to decrease their supply. Might be bullish news for it, but remember that news has come out. So if you are jumping in now, you are late. So what I would suggest to you is look for solid support areas. And the reason I think this is interesting is this was a game that was launched in the bull market, and it looks like they've actually survived. And there might be something coming here. And if you look at this chart, you're not going to believe this. The level of shit coinery here, the way this thing sold off. I mean, I'm literally pulling my trading view down here. So yeah, it looked like it launched at 0.1. Okay. So look at this thing. Be careful. You can see it's had a massive move already. We've had 300%. Okay, so remember, if you are buying this thing, you are 300% behind the guys lower down. And what I suggest is the same way we looked at those coins with Hustle yesterday. We identified areas lower down. We identified buy areas. Just because something's green now doesn't mean it's going to be green tomorrow. So look for solid buy zones. Let this thing pull back. The news has come. It's pumped. Okay, great news. Let it pull back. Look for a support region. And these are the type of areas you want to look at. 0.0029. And then 0.0023. Those are potential buy zones. You can see how this was bought up off this weekly. Okay, so weekly. Look how they bought this up here. So that is a potential solid support base. So just be patient with some of these gaming tokens. Everyone's all over these gaming tokens now, but remember, they're going to move off them at some point. They're going to start talking AI. They're going to start talking the DeFi stuff again, and you're going to be left here holding the hot potato. So be very careful here. Wait for your entries. Try and get the best entries. And remember, crypto is all about narratives. People jump around. Right now, it's gaming. You know, there could be something else coming. So just be patient. But if there is another narrative coming, we're going to be all over it, and we're going to be charting the shit out of these coins. So as soon as they come, we'll be ready for you. Okay, the other one was this random dog game. I mean, last year there was this, or 2 years ago, there was this thing called D-Race, where they were racing horses and all sorts of things. I remember that thing was pumping. And please, whatever you do, don't buy this thing now. This thing is the weekly chart. Look here, weekly support. Look at that bounce off the weekly support again. So I'm trying to show you solid areas that you could look to get into some of these things. And if this game works, let's look at some upside moves here on this thing. There's a cluster up here, so it is pushing into resistance. So if you are buying this now, you are buying it into a resistance area. And remember, gaming is hot now. Just like I said, let it pull back. Let's look for a support region, look for a good area, and this could be something that could start climbing. And you can see these candles look the same. There it goes. So you never know. But Hustle definitely got me thinking yesterday, and that is what I'm looking at currently. So just exercise caution there. And David says TRB just blew. Hopefully it blew up. Let's take a look. David, are you watching 5-minute candles, bro? You must be watching 5-minute candles. Must be. But yeah, a little bit of green here. Okay, so you can see for the scalpers, if you dial in, you get this horizontal stuff going on here. Okay. So, and remember, once your trades start running, guys, you want to be de-risking. When it's moving, you want to make sure the first thing you do when you're scalping and doing these things is to make sure that you are de-risking yourself as soon as possible. Because you don't want to be sitting there with a green trade and you walk away to make dinner and you come back and it's come out and stopped you. So just be careful there. So support right now for TRB is 86.4. This is 4-hour candles. 86.4, 86.2. You can see why this is support now. We've got resistance here, resistance, lots of pushing into that. And now it's broken and it's retested. So the bulls are saying, okay, cool, we've broken, retest. Maybe there's a move in store here. And then just be careful up here. 96 looks like your area, and you can see why that is an interesting area as a potential target. But again, guys, de-risk these scalps as soon as possible. Scalping can be absolutely brutal. It can be very rewarding, but you need to be patient. You can't be taking random entries if you are scalping 15 minutes, 1 hour, because remember, if you're trading 15 minutes, 1 hour, you're taking a lot of trades. Okay, you need to be careful with the stuff. I can't stress this enough to you, how careful you need to be with these things. Look for precision entries. If you don't get the precision entry, don't take risks. Wait for the better entry. There's trades every single day. There's backup trades with Lux Algo. There's all sorts of things. So we are there in Sniper Club also helping you guys navigate your way through these type of things. If this market's going to remain bullish, we are going to be here to help you. And I was joking the other day, but you know, Run said to me, what is my message? Why am I here? And I said, I want to save people from themselves. And I genuinely meant that, because I've been there. I've been scalping these 15-minute candles. I've been down this road a million times. I've made a lot of money. I got rinsed a lot of times. I felt the burn of the liquidation. I felt the burn of the bull market, and it can come and bite you when you least expect it. So I've done all these things, these little scalper setups. I know my way around a bunch of 15-minute candles, I can tell you that much. And so we are here to guide you, and that's why we started the Sniper Club. Me and Sheldon, we got that going, and there's a nice community in there, and we are doing private sessions. We're there to help you guys. We are in the chats as much as we can, and we're dropping these type of charts. I'm dropping these scalper setup charts for you. I'm dropping these ideas. We want to make you better traders. We are giving signals in there, but again, that's not the main focus. The main focus here is to turn you into better traders. We want you guys, if we are in a bull market now and you guys are eager to learn, or you want to make a little bit of extra scalping and those type of things, we are here for you, and we want to help you become a better trader. I want to give you the tools to accelerate your learning and make it a little bit easier for you to navigate this market. Right, guys. Okay, so I need to cut it. We are 57 minutes in. It was so much fun. Again, I love scalping these coins. I love doing this stuff. Hang out with me here. I'm here every day, Banter Plus. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, same time. Catch you later.